This is Play North, the Manitoba Games show. Manitoba Games powered by Manitoba Hydro are coming to Thompson March 4th to 10th, 2018. www.manitobagames.ca is the place to go for all games information to get gear like this, our online store. You can get registered as a volunteer. We can still use more volunteers. Just a couple, and we've got information on the games. This is sort of part of our Focus on Facilities series, so we're standing here in what is going to be home to some kids for 3 or 4 days. Joining me, our first repeat guest. Pretty cool. I'm loving this. Harold Smith with Athlete Services. We sort of, I don't know what you call this. It's like not guerrilla marketing, but guerrilla media. Like we stormed in here and sort of demanded an interview on the spur of the moment. You guys are setting up a classroom. So we're not at the Manitoba Games yet, but this is a practice for when we actually set up for the games. And how's it going so far?
It's going great. One of the things that we've got to do is make sure that our villages are ready come the games time. So what we're doing today, Bruce, is we're taking one classroom and we're setting it up as a mock setup just to get familiar with the setting up of the cots, because the people here today are going to be the ones who are training our volunteers to set up cots, and just making sure that we can fit the number of cots in and what configuration works.
We're 35 days away from the games right now, and one of the things that we heard from the other sets of games was that one thing they didn't anticipate was getting everything out of these classrooms. So it's easy in your mind to say, you know what, we're going to move a bunch of cots into these classrooms and the kids will stay there. That's great. We've all probably slept in a school classroom at one time in our life or in a gym. But I think what caught everybody off guard was the amount of stuff that's in here when you first get here.
Yeah, absolutely. Teachers have a lot of resources and a lot of equipment in their classrooms. We want to absolutely respect that, but we're very fortunate that we've got use of the schools for villages, but it's going to be a big task. And so that's one of the things that we're planning now, to have a large number of volunteers in here on the Friday before the games and the Saturday before the games. First of all, to move all the furniture and make sure that it's all organized, and then second of all is to set up the village.
Yeah, the one that got me was the piano. You just don't expect there's going to be a piano in a classroom, and I'm sure there isn't one in every one, but there's going to be surprises everywhere we go.
Yeah, Murray Kissick never put that in my job description when he was asking me to take the job.
For sure. These cots come with every set of games, so there's a giant truck full of stuff that Sport Manitoba supplies to the games, which totally makes sense because they do this every couple of years. So all of this rolled in, and now it's up to us to get it set up. We had Jim and Norma over here, a couple volunteers helping, and one of the things that Jim was just mentioning that caught him off guard was just there's more to setting these things up than you think. It's not hard, but when you're doing one of them, because you went camping, that's one thing. When you do, how many are we doing?
460 cots that we'll be setting up before the games. So it's a bit of a job.
It's a bit of a job. So when you kneel down to put the Velcro on, to do that when you go camping, that's kind of cool. When you do it like 380th time, it starts to drag maybe a bit.
I'm thinking that somewhere around number 200 is when I'll get a little tired of it. Yeah, number 3 for sure.
It'll start to drag on you, and I mean, I think these cots are fantastic. I love the racks here where you've got a little bit of room to set your stuff up. I mean, certainly this isn't palatial living, but I think the kids know that when they get here, and it's just nice that we're giving them that at least, right?
Yeah, all part of the games experience to get in here. I think that they'll really enjoy it.
And there's a sort of a standard too about how much room you've got, and so you guys have a bunch of maps, and you've got the tape measure on your belt, or you did, and you guys are figuring this all out?
Yeah, and it'll have to be figured out classroom by classroom, but that's why we're doing this mock-up now.
To get the hang of that. Top marks to you and your group. We're not quite ready to go here in this room. You guys still have a little bit of work, but this sort of gives us an idea what an athlete's village actually looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're planning now to make the job as easy as possible for game setup. We sure will appreciate all the volunteers who can sign up and come out and help us out on the Friday and the Saturday before the games.
And just before we let you go, the other thing with the schools is you stay in this classroom, but there's a little bit more room for kids to move around. So there's going to be an athlete's lounge in here. There's going to be access control all around. This whole place is set up really like a village. It's your home for a couple of days.
It really is. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have some entertainment space for the athletes, some place where they can just take some downtime, and just also a little bit of a snack zone. So it'll be we think we're trying to make it as part of that games experience as accommodating as possible.
And it is a huge part of the games experience. All the kids that come, just about anybody that's been to a game says one of the best parts of the games is meeting other people and hanging around, right? So that's going to be great. We're looking forward to having everybody here at Burntwood School, and Riverside School is the other village. It's going to look like this, but Westwood School, sorry, a little bit more set up. If you want more information on the games or to volunteer to come and help set up about 460 cots, www.manitobagames.ca. That's the place to volunteer. Hashtag Play North. If you're looking for us on social media, and come on down to the games. Thompson, Manitoba Games, powered by Manitoba Hydro, March 4th to 10th, 2018. So we just finished the interview with the athlete services folks that are setting up the village here at Burntwood School, and they just wanted us to mention that that's not the final layout for the cots and for how the classroom will go. Right now they're a little bit too tight. That's not exactly how it'll be set up. So if you're coming down for the games and you're worried that that's what it's going to look like, they have some standards and things. They're going to move those around, but we sort of just caught them off guard when we showed up to do the interview, and so they're not all done. But you get a look at what the cots look like and what the classrooms will be like here in Thompson.